Hi Libra. Sorry if you can hear my dishwasher. It is running and there will be a little bit of background noise. This is your Aquarius season, February 2024 reading. All information to work with me one-on-one is below, as well as the extended version to this reading, which is in the first link below. Give it about 24 to 48 hours for it to appear on Patreon, and then about a month before it comes out on YouTube, or the next time your sign has a reading. Look for it then. First card out is the Two of Cups. The next card out, these fell out while I was talking to you, is the Four of Pentacles. There's a lot of energy you are giving and receiving in this time in the forefront, in the conscious, in the very immediate humans in your life. Also, the commitments in your life. You're starting to begin to take the weight off of some of the aspects, the values, we should say, the values. We have the Four of Pentacles out here. The values. All right, a bunch of cards just fell out. We're just gonna roll with it. That is also a reminder to roll with things right now, okay? For those of you who want it your way. So this is the theme. These two cards, I feel like they're gonna stand tall on the top of the reading, is what you put into what you value and how you hold it tightly to where it is so that other things can run the way they do. Everyone's being given some kind of advice in that way. It looks like this month the cards are really saying it in everyone's language, which is really dope. It's become obvious to you like how important connections are. You know this because of the way you pick up your programming. So I feel like each sign, each person who comes into this life, and each of those signs, each of those placements is like just the way that you receive and give information, right? That's not that those other ways aren't within you. This is just the way it really shows up. This is like the most obvious way it shows up for you. And so this Leo full moon, I think, you may have become very aware of those places in your life where you find that you may be protecting. Like you get so far with something like a pattern or recognizing something or doing the work internally or externally in those cases, and then you almost get to like the finish line, but you feel good, your heart is open. You may feel more skeptical this time. You may find yourself feeling maybe defensive or protective, and the Intemperance is saying, well, you could do that, or you can trust the change that's occurring. You can get fully to that uncomfortable zone for things to shift. You may have saw this coming, but it's because you may have been here over and over again, maybe, Libra. And now you are being given the opportunity to take a look at what is presenting itself internally and externally. And you're getting these very key, significant moments, lights of shift, of change, if you give yourself that opportunity to notice what's happening, if you have the awareness, of course. And if you do, you'll notice that, or someone presents to you the opportunity, right? So maybe this is something you've talked about within your relationship, not just like your partnership, your romantic, but your other relationships in your life. And you come to this agreement that you have allowed each other to make certain things aware for one another, to then show you how certain things can't proceed forward, or how you both stunt your growth, right? This is very much a give and take, reciprocity at this time. And you're being presented many opportunities to do this. But on the other hand, as well, this is about a deeper commitment in love, perhaps. Or I would say any relationship in your life, but of course love as well. You may have met someone between Sagittarius and Capricorn season, or have found that if you are already in a partnership, there's like an adventurous, spontaneous shift that has changed, especially within your emotional sector and how you guys go about handling things. And what I was saying before is also very Temperance, very Sagittarius, is being able to identify things and be playful and accepting about it, but not learning how far you can actually go and why and all that, and or why it triggers you, all of that stuff. Like being able to accept what's being delivered through your own protection, through your own defensiveness, to your own way of how you approach other people. Because to some extent, that is how you are either approaching something about you in your life, it could be, or how you're approaching a situation in your life where it looks like you want new opportunities and new opportunities want you as well. There is a whole change and influx of energy that is coming into your life now. And it's also like you're looking, actually I should bring these up together. I have them down. They look like, no, they're not facing each other. I thought they were. They're both facing the same way, which is good. Because whatever opportunity comes to light, and it could be through a conversation with a very level-headed person, where you're being given an opportunity, and this opportunity looks like it's going to change a lot and help the change that you're already going through along. This is what comes next after you're offered, and if this is specifically being offered an opportunity, right? Or an opportunity being offered to the person that you live with, maybe you get a chance to move somewhere, or have an opportunity to move your life or change your life. Life-changing moments are occurring regardless, and it's how you handle leaving. Internally or externally, it's how you handle leaving. I have been thinking about this. I have learned about Irish goodbyes since I was younger. I am Irish. American Irish, obviously, but have been raised in the culture. And it's a real thing. Just leave without saying anything, right? I've gone in and out of that phase. Why am I bringing this up? Well, it's funny because I did just go to like a going away party with someone, a friend of mine who's moving, right? So it's how you show up in times of your life when things are changing. Are you celebrating this leave? Are you acknowledging how you left behind? Because if you can and do that, all of it, yet be yourself, right? If you don't want to necessarily celebrate with everyone or all these people, don't. You don't owe anybody anything, right? However, whoever you do want to celebrate with, do it. Who cares, right? Why do you need to explain yourself at this point? If you do, and it's within context to bring anything up, present yourself. But this pattern that's equally in your life, physically it looks like, is what's holding you back from 5 of Pentacles in reversed on the bottom of the deck, 5 of Cups. This is the first step of the grievance. It's like, perhaps you were in denial, and this month you're not at all. It's interesting, because you and Aries have this similar energy, but it shows up differently. Well, everyone has it, but it shows up differently. But the way that you guys get these moments, these magical moments of what's coming next on your journey, or how you're being led there, the catalyst, the spark. You know, I talked to them about how it comes into their head. They rule the head, and then it's just like from there on, they just get it. It's like pumps through their blood. With you guys, right, you need to be able to be in a place where you can be so neutral, and so aware of yourself and where you're at in this present moment, and in this present like moment of your life, I would say, not just like this literal moment, because you rule the kidneys and the internal parts of the body roll over you, or you rule them, whatever. I get just weirdly dyslexic in that area, if that's the best word, or confused. We've been over this. So it hits you in a way that is very internal. It's this deep inner knowing. And when you change and people aren't expecting you to, it's because you finally process whatever shit you've needed to process. And at the same time, you're being given the opportunity. And why does that happen so divinely on time with you? Because you need to decide, Libra. We like to joke. People like to joke about how indecisive Libras are. And as a Libra sun, I can attest to that. But I can also attest to, and this is not just saying this because it's a thing out there, sometimes we don't like our options. So we'll wait and we'll wait and we'll wait until a better option comes along. Or we take action and it's like we take action and something better comes along. Either way, there's this dance, right? And you need that divine timing. And why it's so in your life particularly is because it reminds you, because it's so profound, it reminds you of how things are possible for you. And as a Libra rising, this is very much a huge shift in your identity and your career and how you maneuver the direction of it all, and how you feel when you finally decide, even though there may have been some inclinations, like you may be a little bit more obvious now. It's not just these big rash realizations if you've ever had them. This one's like, every time you think about this change, you get excited. There's no doubt here. You're like, this is what is going to bring me through the rest of this. This is the next step. I am not putting all of my weight on that and expectation on that. This is a me and my next phase connection, right? The reason why I had to backtrack and say that is because you're a sign that can be very weighted in how you see things going. And it's important that you allow yourself to see these things and not be held on to if they happen or not. That's when they happen. And you know that. And it's how you decide to move on, right? You're not the sign to rub things in people's faces. You just do your thing, and that may just rub people the wrong way. That's not up to you after this point. How people respond to you is not up to you. And that's important to remember as you make these changes, because you're on this next phase of your life, and you may notice how your emotions and your mind meet and how they connect and what they connect with, where they come together, as opposed to where you need to be separate, right? Something comes together for you at this time, and it's not something you'll forget, but it's this ritual. You may want to create a ritual around how you handle not only receiving what you've needed to receive, but the information and the realizations that you also receive as you move through this. So this acknowledgement towards like honoring what's also guiding you and who is also guiding you along this path, as well as yourself. So if you don't already have a connection with like your higher power or spiritual connection or God, you may find that you want to deepen or begin, which is to deepen, of course, in another level of it. You may find that becomes a lot easier. And you may also find out why through it. It's this heaviness, what has been stuck. So the Four of Pentacles started, like, was the second card, and the end card is the Five in reverse, and we have the Five of Swords right next to it. You will learn something about how you handle things and how you handle commitments and how you handle moving on from commitments or a change of commitment. That is what is being so revealed to you at this time. And the only way you can really see them and feel them is by also what it appears to be, says the cards, moving on with another relationship. Yeah. I'm excited to get into this next part with you. It's crazy because for some people, this month is not so much mental thinking, it's more about focusing on what is real. Because this month is carving the authenticity, and whatever change you've been prepared for is coming. It's coming to light. All right. And we'll see you in the second part. All right, Libra?